8 reasons you need to take a guided tour in Atlanta. Atlanta is one of those cities people think they understand until they actually spend time here. And the truth is, if you're exploring Atlanta without a guide, you're probably only seeing half the story. Today, I'm breaking down 8 reasons you need to take a guided tour in Atlanta, whether you're visiting for the first time or you've lived here for years. Hi, I'm JoLynn with Unexpected Atlanta. We are local guides and storytellers who help people experience the city beyond the obvious. And if you've ever wondered whether a guided tour is really worth it, this video will answer that question. Reason 1, Atlanta's a city of layers. Atlanta doesn't really explain itself easily. The city is layered with civil rights history, Black entrepreneurship, migration stories, music, food, urban development, and reinvention. Unfortunately, a whole lot of historic places in Atlanta have been torn down or covered with parking lots. A guided tour helps connect those layers so you're not just seeing places, but understanding why they matter. Without context, Atlanta can feel spread out and confusing. With a guide, the city starts to make sense. Reason 2, you'll discover neighborhoods you'll never find on your own. Atlanta isn't a one neighborhood city. It's a collection of communities, each with its own identity, history, and rhythm. Guided tours take you beyond the highlights into places like historic residential neighborhoods, cultural districts, markets, and corridors shaped by generations of locals. These are places most visitors would never stumble upon without some help, and even locals are often surprised by how much they haven't explored. For example, one of our most popular tours is the King Historic District Tour, where we start at the frequently visited King Center and then head into neighborhoods where Dr. King lived and played as a child. It's a side of Atlanta that even locals don't know. Reason number 3, Atlanta's history is deeper than the highlights. Most people know Atlanta for a few headline moments, but the real story runs much deeper. Guided history tours explore how Atlanta grew, who built it, who was excluded, and how those choices still shape the city today. Whether it's civil rights history, preservation, or community-led change, tours provide nuance you won't get from a plaque or a Google search. Atlanta's past isn't just something that happened. It's something that you can still feel, and it impacts all of us in very real ways. For example, if you've ever complained about Atlanta traffic, and come on, we know that you've complained about it, there's a historic reason that Atlanta's traffic is the way that it is, and we'll discuss it on many of our tours. Reason number 4, food is one of the best ways to understand the city. If you want to understand Atlanta, you have to eat here. And there's no better way to get a sampling of the city's food than on a food tour. So what is a food tour? It's like a pub crawl, but better, because you're eating food at many different restaurants in just a few hours. Food tours reveal how Southern traditions, global influences, migration, and entrepreneurship all show up on a plate. Guided food experiences turn meals into storytelling, connecting dishes to neighborhoods, people, and history. You're not just tasting food. You're learning why Atlanta eats the way that it does. A great choice is Unexpected Atlanta's Prohibition Progressive Dinner, which takes guests to 4 of the top restaurants in the city, including ending with an iconic rotating rooftop dessert stop and a visit to a Prohibition-themed speakeasy, where we'll give you the code to get in. In just a few hours, you'll explore some of the city's best food while enjoying amazing cocktails for just one all-inclusive cost. Reason number 5, a guide helps you see what you'd walk right past. One of the biggest advantages of a guided tour is learning what to look for. A great guide points out details you'd never notice on your own. Architecture, street art, subtle neighborhood changes, and small moments that carry big meaning. Suddenly, a quiet street or unassuming building becomes a story. Guides teach you how to see Atlanta, not just move through it. And that's particularly true in places like Cabbagetown. Here, you might walk by dozens of beautiful murals without truly understanding them. Reason number 6, a tour gets you hands-on into the city. Some of the most meaningful guided experiences in Atlanta don't involve walking at all. They involve rolling up your sleeves and cooking. Guided tours that incorporate cooking classes like Unexpected Atlanta's Southern Essentials cooking class gives you a hands-on way to understand Atlanta's food culture, from Southern staples like biscuits and pimento cheese to the stories behind why these dishes matter. Instead of just hearing about history, you're tasting it, making it, and connecting it in a way that sticks around far longer than a meal at a restaurant. Reason number 7. Atlanta is best explained by locals. Atlanta is complex, evolving, and deeply rooted in community. Local guides bring lived experience, nuance, and perspective you won't find in a guidebook. They can answer questions, share personal insights, and explain how the city continues to change. That local voice makes all the difference. Plus, we're always sure to give you the best recommendations on where to eat and what to do. Reason number 8. You'll leave with a better understanding of the city. The best guided tours don't just show you Atlanta, they change how you think about it. You leave with a deeper appreciation for the city's history, a better understanding of its neighborhoods, new favorite spots, and stories you'll find yourself retelling. That's what makes a guided tour worth it. So here's what we, as Atlanta Guides, hope you take away when you come on a tour with us. Atlanta is not just a city you rush through. It's a city you explore with curiosity and context, and that's best achieved with a good guide. Whether you're here for a weekend, planning a return trip, or finally deciding to explore your own city, a guided tour is one of the best ways to experience Atlanta fully. If you're ready to explore Atlanta in a way that feels thoughtful, engaging, and genuinely local, you can learn more at unexpectedatlanta.com. And if you want more insider tips on how to experience Atlanta beyond the obvious, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow along.